What's going on, everyone? I'm VladKilljoy and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about everything chapter 3, everything new that's here, obvious new stuff, and some not so obvious new stuff that you may not know about that might help you get your first win of the season and more wins throughout the season. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, to start off the video, we're going to talk about the most obvious stuff, and as the video goes on, it's going to be the less obvious stuff that y'all might not know about, but definitely do need to know about because it's huge, game changing. The meta is going to change dramatically around these changes. Let's start off with the new stuff. The map, brand new. We have a couple of new POIs that have returned from chapter 1, that being Greasy Grove, Shifty Shafts, Sunny Steps. Even though Sunny Steps isn't technically named on this map, in ruins, but it's there. We also have Tilted Towers underneath the snow and ice right now, and it will guaranteed be here by week 8 because in the files there are challenges for landing at Tilted Towers. So we know for a fact by week 8 of this season, we will have Tilted Towers. Additionally, we have these new winning crowns or winners crowns that have been added to the game. They don't really do much as far as like changing the meta or anything. You get one if you win, or if you're in solos and duos, if you come top 5, you end up getting one, and it makes your name gold at the very beginning, and in the pre-game lobby you have this like golden aura about you. If anything else, you know, you can show off how many wins you have. It's all right, I don't mind it. But you know, I figured I'd talk about everything that's new here. So also with the release of chapter 3, we also have a sliding mechanic. Starting out the season, I was a little afraid of the sliding mechanic because any game that's had it, I've been trash at it. Starting Fortnite, I was trash at shooters too, and now I'm pretty decent. I've been playing around with the sliding mechanic a lot since the seasons came out, even though it's only been 2 days. It's here. I got to get used to it. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of exploits and creative ways of using this sliding mechanic. I've already seen plenty of clips of people using the sliding mechanic in ingenious ways and getting kills. Also, vaults have returned. There's a couple POIs, 7 of them to be exact, that are around the map, and they all have vaults at the very bottom of one of the buildings. You do have to have your entire team there to unlock the vaults, but if you do that, you get access to a lot of good loot. Could possibly set you pretty right for the rest of the game. And with these vault POIs, if you end up going to the back side of these POIs, there are actually 3 or 4 rifts that you can use to also rotate, seeing how most of these POIs are going to be on the edge of the map. They're going to be really good drop spot locations. These are going to be really good locations because you can go there, loot up really quickly, get really good loot, and then hit these rifts to get more like centered location of the map and get to fighting. Also, quad crashers have made their return. As I talked about in a couple of videos back before chapter 3 even released, I let y'all know that quad crashers were going to make a return, and it looks like I was right. There are a ton of quad crashers around the map right now. I haven't tested the theory to see if we can still fly with them or not, but I'm working on that, and I'll definitely let y'all know in a video soon if you can still fly across the map with the quad crashers. I'm sure you can't, because that's one of the reasons why Epic removed the quad crashers in the first place. We'll find out shortly. Now let's move on to the loot pool. Okay, everything is pretty much brand new for the exceptions of, you know, the mini shields, big shields, and slurp splashes. So let's talk about all the new items. I know y'all probably seen them already, but we're going to talk about them still. Starting off with the shotguns. Very underwhelming shotguns. We've got the auto shotgun and we've got the striker pump shotgun, but I prefer the auto shotgun over the striker pump. And I know that sounds ridiculous because it's just a worse tack shotgun. But for me, as long as you don't take into consideration of the pullout time, the auto shotgun pretty much is as consistent damage wise as the striker pump is. And it fires faster than the striker pump. Just off that, my pick between the two shotguns is the auto shotgun. When you shoot it and you hit your shot with it, it just seems that more of the pellets hit on the auto shotgun than the tack shotgun did. And the striker pump, like, It's inconsistent to hit shots, and the time between shots just takes too long. Now, with that being said, with the striker pump, you can do somewhat of a double pump method to it. If you run 2 of the striker pump shotguns, the shotgun swap delay is actually faster, so you can kind of double pump with it. But with the SMGs and ARs that we're going to talk about here in a second, them being so powerful, you really don't want to take up 2 inventory slots with shotguns when you can just run the SMG or an AR, and they're wonderful at, you know, medium range to short range. We have the Ranger AR and we have the MK7 AR. Obviously, top pick here is going to be the MK7. It has a really fast fire rate. It puts out a ton of damage quickly, and it's got a red dot scope on it. While it's here in its overpowered state, why not use it? Now, I do like the Ranger AR as well. It is kind of like the old AKs before the AKs got nerfed, and it also has the bloom and first shot accuracy of the normal ARs. So it's really not that bad, and I'll get in more detail in another video when I talk about like loadouts and what you should run probably in certain situations. I'll have that video coming out later this week, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so that way you don't miss that upload. It's going to be a big one for sure with this whole shakeup of the meta. Moving on to the SMGs, we only have one SMG in the game right now, and that's the Stinger SMG. And as I already said, it's super powerful. It has a faster fire rate than the P90 did back in Chapter 2. And it also puts out more damage. It has a faster fire rate than the rapid fire does. People are running 2 of these SMGs with no shotgun and just absolutely annihilating people. Now, the pistols, on the other hand, the pistols are pretty much the same from what I've noticed. They just have a different name. They're now the sidearm pistol. I don't know what's exactly different about these pistols versus the old pistols. Let me know if y'all noticed anything different about the pistols down below. Now, if y'all seen my Chapter 3 wish list, I was hoping for snipers to return. And boy, did we get snipers. Chapter 3 introduced the Hunter's bolt action sniper rifle, and this thing is just mean. It's unbelievable. It's got 3 rounds to a clip. None of it can one-shot people, even if you hit them in the head. And it has a very, very slow reload speed. But you have to remember that it has 3 rounds in each clip. Someone's gonna take 1 shot with a sniper. You're gonna peek, try to take returning shots, and they're gonna just follow up with a 2nd shot and headshot you. And it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. If you do end up getting shot with one of these snipers because you forgot that it has, you know, 3 rounds in the clip and not 1, with the new Med Mist item, you can heal up pretty quickly. So it'll take 10 seconds from 1 HP to get you back up to full. But the thing with the Med Mist is that you can move around while using this item. So if you need to like rotate from storm, you can use this item while moving. Super beneficial for any loadout when it comes to white heals. And I should have probably started with their counterpart first, because now it's going to make it seem a little, you know, underwhelming. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. The Guzzle Juice, okay? I really like this item. You can stack 2 of them, and as long as you don't take damage, it'll heal you. It doesn't give you shields, however. It is a pretty good item. You can drink 1, run, and as long as you don't take damage, if you take fall damage, I'm pretty sure it still heals you. If you get shot, the effects wear off. So you got to keep that in mind. It's still a pretty good item if you can't find the Med Mist, but I would highly recommend taking the Med Mist over the Guzzle Juice. We also have the addition of tints to the game, and I don't really understand why they added tints to the game. They're kind of clunky if you ask me. With the tints, you can heal yourself if you rest inside of one, and you can also store guns in it for later matches. Now, this is only for pubs. Can't do it in arena. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay like X amount of gold to like stash a weapon inside. And I'm pretty sure you'd have to pay X amount of gold to be able to get that weapon out. Either way, you're probably not going to be able to use the tints in arena or tournaments, which is a good thing, because we don't need people just stashing really good items and then starting the game off with really good items in a competitive setting. Moving on from the tints. Now, I already talked about the MK7 and it being overpowered. But would you believe me if I told you there was a mythic version of this item? That's right, there's a mythic MK7, and if the normal green and blue one aren't already super overpowered, this thing absolutely shreds people. You do have to kill the foundation to get this item, and the foundation is solid as a rock. He doesn't want to go down. I mean, we've all died to, you know, boss NPCs in the past. Foundation, on the other hand, he's a completely different story. He has a lot of HP, but the best way to take him down is if you build straight up, you have a harpoon, and you harpoon him up and let him fall and die to fall damage. That's going to be the easiest and fastest way to kill him without taking any damage. And then you secure the mythic MK7 and you win the game. Now that we got the loot pool stuff out of the way, let's talk about some stuff that you may not know about. So starting off with Reboot Vans. Reboot Vans now take longer for you to reboot your teammate. They're louder, and when you get rebooted, you spawn from a rift. So now it's even more dangerous to reboot your teammate and for your teammate to be rebooted because you spawn from the air. If a team's not around, they're going to hear that reboot go off and they're going to push towards it. And then they're going to see one of your teammates floating in the air. You're going to get beamed out of the sky. It's not going to be a good time. So make sure that you're in a secure location before you reboot your teammate. If you're only rebooting one person on like a trio or squads, if you have multiple people trying to reboot your teammate, it will actually go by quicker. So let's talk about if you're knocked but not out inside of a fight. Knocked players can now crawl faster. They can open chests and doors. They can pick up loot for you as long as they have a open inventory slot. And I know what you're thinking. Most of the time you don't have an open inventory slot if you're like knocked. Don't worry, because you can now drop items, ammo, and materials to your teammates that are still alive. I don't know why this hasn't been in the game. There's been so many countless times where I'm like, I wish I could drop items to my teammates because I'll have shields or I'll have mats or something, and my teammate runs out of mats and I've got, I don't know, 2,500 mats on my body, but like I'm just crawling around and I can't do nothing until I die. If you're playing team-based games and one of your teammates goes down, just like the Reboot Van, if you have more than one person trying to res that teammate, you will res them a lot quicker than just having one person on your teammate. So you'll have your teammate back up and going and joining the fight in no time with having more than one person reviving them. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new from the Chapter 3 recap here. How are y'all enjoying Chapter 3, by the way? Are y'all enjoying it? Do you like the loot pool? Let me know down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Bye.